Back from spring break and owners' meetings in the NFL and ready to go back to work again. Apparently, he was working at the Pacers game last night, although I didn't see him. It is Mike Wells. Hey, Mike.
What's going on, fellas? Well, a couple things. Hey, I was handling it from the Brooklyn. I was handling it from the Brooklyn side of things for ESPN, so they clicked the playoff spot.
Right.
I wasn't worried about the Pacers. And B, Joe, nobody has an iPod anymore, man. That tells you how old your ass is.
That's why I was lying, because I never even had one when people did have one.
So when you said iPod, I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I see why you still wear those 1965 shorts in 2019.
Yeah, don't start clowning me, Wellesley. I know who you got with before the game, so you could cover it for the Brooklyn side of things. I know you tapped into MG and had Grady tell you everything you needed to know.
Exactly. I'm no dummy. I mean, you can follow my lead, Big Joe. I'm like, what did you tell me about? Our boy MG is like big time, man. He's big time right now. I had to beg and plead, and he told me that you ate like $300 worth of food yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, we went over to Prime, but Prime 47. But the funny thing was, he said he was meeting up with you over Burger Study because. And I did not know
you got to go to Prime, and Wellesley goes to Burger Study.
Yeah,
okay.
With Grady. And here's the thing. Grady says he has not eaten any meat, no red meat, since last fall.
Woo. I know.
So fish is the only meat that he's had.
Hey, so he's anybody who follows Grady on Instagram knows he's a foodie. And he put something on Instagram about some soul food, which I knew all of a sudden he was a vegetarian because I seen a picture of him looking at some tofu food in the grocery store. And I said, how the hell can you go to a soul food spot when you're a vegetarian, man? And he goes, when you come to New York, I'm going to take you to the spot. You can't even tell. There's no way in hell am I putting fake meat in my mouth. I will stay 200 pounds smaller than Big Joe before I put tofu in my mouth.
Joe had beef tongue here last week. You missed that.
Yeah, the beef tongue is actually pretty good.
That's what I said. You know, I knew I was in trouble because he looks over at me. He's got this carton of beef, right? And he's got this look on his face like, hey, you trust me? And I said, no, not with that.
Kyle Unimark ate some, though.
Yeah, Kyle, you had some and immediately stopped chewing after about 3 bites.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about. So, man, what'd you learn at the NFL owners meetings that you haven't told anybody about yet?
Well, actually, you know what? Actually, Jeff, I didn't go to the owners meeting. I was in Phoenix, but it was personal.
Oh, so you just went for vacation?
I went to golf. I went to golf. That's what I did. So, but basically, based off the things I read, it kind of summed up the offseason. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because nobody should be surprised. I mean, Chris Ballard he laid out the plan. He said pick and choose when it comes to free agency. 2 outside free agents in Funches and Houston, and that's it. Re-sign their own and focus on the draft. You got 9 draft picks coming up in a couple weeks. So people who are upset about it shouldn't be upset, because this is what Chris Ballard said he was going to do. So it's not like this is a breaking news. All of a sudden they got all this money and now they want to be, frugal shoppers. He laid out the plan, and we all knew this was coming about.
All right, you should get Deion Kane back. You added Devin Funchess. You could get him in, I guess, if you wanted. He's still out there and available. I think you'd probably use a draft pick. How high is that draft pick for a wide receiver?
Man, it's funny. I've had a bunch of people ask me, what should the Colts do with that first-round pick? And I'm kind of torn on it. I don't think you use the first-round pick on Funchess. I mean, I think, if anything, the second round is the earliest, because nobody knows what Deion Kane's going to be. Nobody knows, and it usually takes a full season for somebody to bounce back from a torn ACL. Malik Hooker played last year, but he was definitely not the Malik Hooker pre-torn ACL. We'll probably see a better Malik Hooker this season. Now you got Kane trying to work. Not only is he coming back from a torn ACL, he's a rookie next season. He's going to be a rookie. He played a handful of snaps in the first preseason game, and that's it. So you don't sit there and roll the dice and say Kane's going to be that guy, because you don't know. Funchess, my man's got a case of drops. He had a case of drops when he was in Carolina. So you don't know if he's going to live up to the expectations. We've talked about it on the show. The history of Colts signing outside receivers hasn't really panned out for this franchise, so you can't bank on that. They still need to get some more receivers to help out with T.Y. Hilton. in this situation, in my opinion. I just don't think you go with the first round pick on that.
Mike Wells, I need my Wellsy fix. You going to come and do a whole show on Wednesday or on Friday?
I am. So evidently we'll be up on 96 and Keystone, right?
Yeah, Wells he's going to be in the noon to 3 slot with Kevin Bowen over at Royal Pin. How about that?
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Big Joe, do not. Hey, when you're done at 10 o'clock, if you're over there, please get your behind out of there.
No.
I don't need you in there with your short shorts on, man.
Hey,
I know you're not tan.
You know I'm
pale white, man.
You know I'm Polish though, but this is like a national pastime for Polacks. We love to bowl. You may not be able to get me out of there.
Oh my God! Hey, I really don't want the vision of seeing you bend over and throw the ball down the lane. That is a sight I do not want to see, Joe.
Here's what I would say though, Wellesley. You're going to be on at noon. We're going to be on from 10 to noon, obviously, over there. I would get there at 11:30 and get to the buffet before Joe gets off the air.
Well, first of all, you're going to be doing most of the show by yourself anyways because he's going to be stuffing his face. He's going to be putting that hand signal up like, waving his finger saying, you continue. I got a mouthful. So you'll be doing the show by yourself.
Well, we're just happy to be beating cancer, whatever I do.
No, you're 100% correct on that. I mean, when this is talking about a cancer situation, it's a serious matter. So, in all seriousness, I am looking forward to it. Hopefully, they'll have a great turnout on that on Friday afternoon.
Love you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, fellas, be good.
See you, Wellesley.
There's Mike Wells. And, Dan will be from Minneapolis today. He'll be in studio Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and he's got to take a Friday off. So, but I know he wanted to do that, but things got in the way for him. So we'll have Mike Wells and Kevin Bowen in there.
That'd be a good show.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I could listen to Wellesley all day long. All right.
I don't know about that.
Huh?
I don't know.
We didn't call. He doesn't make fun of me. I don't know why. Right.
Hey, heads up though.
Yeah.
In talking to Grady yesterday, he is going to be doing some ESPN radio.
I know.
And there is a noon to 4 on a Sunday that if everything comes to fruition, it will be Michael Grady and Mike Wells coast to coast from like noon to 4.
Digging it.
So if that happens, we'll let you know.
No, that's
when it happens. I know it's going to happen.
Grady's blowing up. He's been at the Yes Network. A lot of people didn't even realize for a year and a half, working for the Nets and the Yankees. They've expanded his duties this year with the Yankees, and he's going to start getting some ESPN radio run
and some Sirius. He's doing Sirius
NBA radio.
Yeah. He's a very busy guy right now.
That's what's going on. Grady's not been in town for a while, and it's because he's getting ready to dominate the world.
Right.
So that's what's going on.
Here's how important he is, though. We go over to have lunch, and he's wearing his earpiece. I was like, seriously, dude? Seriously. We met at 1. The game's not until 5. We know who you are. We've not forgotten.
I hope you let him know about that.
Oh, I was all over him about that.
All right. We'll continue talking about Pacers, and Doug Gottlieb says he's going to join us from Minneapolis to talk about the championship game tonight. So that'll be coming up in a few minutes, and we'll take your phone calls as well at 239-1070. It's the Jeff and Big Joe Show right here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.